So, I actually sent this proposal to Graph and to this event. And to this event, I made the title in English, and in Graph, I put it in Portuguese. Well, they put the Portuguese title there. Or usually, here in Brazil, they don't really like to talk about curves. Bosta means sheet curves, literally sheet curves. And people here some people here are a little bit conservative. So usually I just translate the title and they don't know what poop is. So they accept it. But first, before I start, most of the things that I'm doing here might be done in a simple software called GeoGebra. GeoGebra, I don't know how to say that in English. I don't know if you know about this software, but it's a free software written in Java or about visualizing mathematics, dynamical geometry. It's simply fantastic. If you know somebody who's from math and they don't know GeoGebra, please tell them about it. Okay. All I'm doing here is made using free tools. I changed the speech this year because last year I was doing everything in PHP, and I was actually doing Bosta or bitmap graphics. So this Christmas, my wife went away to see her family, left me alone, me, my refrigerator, and some bunch of cleaners. And I found a book about SVG on the internet. And so I started exploring that. Now I have like 3-4 months that I'm messing with SVG. So I'm still in the learning phase, but I've managed to at least do a few things. And I've changed the programming language to Python. So here I've tried to include a few of the icons that I've used to create, to carry out this works presented here. One of them is also latex. Here you are designers, so I couldn't resist telling you about latex, which to me, when I knew SVG, I thought that SVG was the latex of graphics. Okay. First of all, I'll jump the first slide says about some coding, and there will come up some formulas. I will pass them pretty fast and get to the images. This was a few classes I made in Python, so I could easier make vector calculations. It actually, Python is one of the few languages, one of the C++, that allows you to define operations between objects. It's called operator overloading. It means that I can actually tell how the language will add vectors, how it will multiply vectors, matrices, etc. Okay, I'll just skip them, and yeah, here starts mathematics. What I'm studying is I'm trying to study planar curves and geometrical issues and trying to animate them. Okay? Also, parametrized curving R2 is simply two coordinate functions, x of g and y of g. Okay? I'll give you an example there that will parameterize an ellipse. Yeah. Okay? What I will need derivatives. Any of you studied calculus? So at least you know what the derivative is. I wandered around for many years without knowing how I would calculate a derivative on a computer. It's actually pretty simple. You simply use the definition, as you usually do. Or you simply take the difference between the point in g more and g plus epsilon, and subtract the g minus epsilon, the same value g minus epsilon. You would think that you would want to use an epsilon very, very small, because in the calculus definition you have a limit. But computational, that would be absurd, because in theories, if this epsilon here is very, very small, you're subtracting two numbers which are practically equal, and you will end up only with rounding errors. So in my experience, an epsilon about 0.0001 is more than sufficient, at least for the calculus I've been doing here. Acceleration, same kind of things. You do the same trick, but just calling the derivative function that you had above. Okay? I couldn't help mentioning that the whole theory of differential geometry is based on a formula called Taylor's formula. Why do I include this in this talk? Is because this is the talk I'm preparing. I'm presently both at math courses and at computer science courses. So to the math people, give them computer science. To the computer science people, give them math. Okay? But Taylor's formula is the base of the whole theory of differential geometry. Okay. Another thing very much needed in mathematics is the hat vector, which is when I have a certain direction, I would want to have a direction orthogonal to it. Or clearly there are two directions that are orthogonal to it, but I would want the direction orthogonal that are 90 degrees positively ahead of my vector. That is pretty important, because I would want, when I use these vectors, I would want to, in one basis and the other basis, calculate the same angles and the same length. If I would choose this vector and the negative vector, I would actually change sign of all my angles and end up messing the whole thing up. Okay? As a pretty stunning result about vectors of fixed length, if I have a vector function and it has fixed length, then its derivative is orthogonal to it. That's very surprising. I went around a lot of years without having thought about that fact. Okay. Well, when I said about these hat vectors, 90 degrees forward, actually I'm indirectly talking about a change of coordinates. Okay. I would like coordinate systems that are orthonormal, which is a pretty neat word to say that I want in one system and the other system, I would want to calculate same length and same angles. Okay? And there's a drawing of that there. And when you do that, two vectors comes up. And I don't know, the ones who studied math, trigonometry in school, you all love cosine and sine, yeah? But these two vectors, cosine t, sine t, and its hat vector, these two vectors are of fundamental importance for what I'm going to do in the following. Okay? When I calculate a velocity, if this velocity is non-zero, I can normalize the tangent vector to produce a unit vector for me, which is called t, and its normal, which is just the head of the same thing. Okay, there's a small drawing of it there. I've included the code, how you write that how you could write that in Python. There's always more than one way to do it, but this is one way, and it's pretty simple. It might be expressed all in one line using the classes that I had in the introduction. These two vectors, they form what in geometry is called an accompanying coordinate system. If I have my curve here, the t vector is a unit vector which is parallel to the tangent, and the end is the positive normal to that one. This allows us to talk about curvature, which is an interesting thing. I hear a lot of people talking about curves and curvature, but usually when you ask them what it's about, they won't be able to respond to you precisely. Curvature is actually, when I had these two vectors here, there's an angle representing them. This angle that depends on t as it goes along on the curves. The coordinate system will move along, and the derivative of this angle is actually the curvature. It tells something about how the curve is moving. Yeah, that's it. You don't need to, if you don't understand these formulas, there's no problems in that. I'll give you some graphics. I think that's what you'd like anyway. Okay? Here's the formal definition of curvature. it ends up that what is actually very important is this determinant, which is the scalar product between here. This determinant becomes pretty crucial when you investigate curves. Okay? Here's a function that calls it, and here's how you put in 2 lines, calculate the curvature of your curve. In other languages, it would be pretty much more ugly to write this code. I've done it in PHP, and it doesn't get as neat as it does in Python. Okay? A line, let's understand what is curvature. At least that is something interesting for people who's doing geometrical graphics and design. What is curvature? Well, a line has no curvature. A line doesn't curve. And a circle has constant curvature. Okay? And using the formulas that I have above, I can calculate the curvature given that way, that the curvature of a line is 0. And no, sorry. Yeah, the curvature of a line is 0, and that's right. And a circle has constant curvature, which is 1 over its radius. When a circle gets smaller, it curves more than a curve with a large radius. Okay. When you take the curvature and you did that. This thing with the circle here means that in any point of the curve, I can approximate the curve by a certain circle. This is a better approximation. Most of you would be accustomed with approximating a curve by its tangent. But the tangent very fast, it's not a very good approximation to the curve. But if you use a circle with the same curvature in the point, you get a much better approximation. I think here's the figure. I took that from, I should put a thank you here because I stole this image on Wikipedia. I don't think I'll be able to make a better, you see here the tangent. I don't need to be very far from the point. This is not and it's not a very good approximation. But if I use the circle here, you see I get a much better approximation to the curves. And this is actually one of the big basics of the differential geometry in 2 dimensions. Here's arc length. I didn't finish all these slides. I didn't have time to, but there was more than 50 slides, so I think, okay, it's probably enough. The arc length I will need later on, because what I'm going to show you is curves that roll, a circle that rolls on another curve, and study the curve that comes out of that. When you do that, you need to be able to calculate the arc length of the curve that you're rolling on, because you need that to define that your circle is not sliding. Okay? I'm going to skip that. Rapidly, graphics format, bitmaps. I was doing everything in PNG, and I still live a little bit in that world. I think I have kind of my heel is still in the PNG world, it's the bitmap world, but I'm trying to escape it. Now I've tried SVG, which I think to me is a lot more interesting, because when you study curves, many times you would want to zoom down and see details in a certain region, and you can't do that with a bitmap with any quality. But with SVG, I can focus down and see the smallest details. Okay. What I do to animate the rolling is to produce a sequence of SVGs. I did that with PNGs, and I sent it to Convert of ImageMagick, try to make animated GIF for me. But with SVG, I didn't have this option, so I spent a few days searching around, and I found this carousel from W3 schools. I thank them very much for that, very good. And using that, I was able to get my images to animate in a browser. Okay? Yeah, this is, I don't think I need to do much to use a lot of arguments to convince you that SVG is the proper choice. But I've tried to do it here. When I said that I still have a heel in the bitmap world, is because I'm scaling my images. I take geometrical units and put them into pixels, and I'm pretty sure I can simply skip that now and just write centimeters or some other unit in the SVG file. I think so. Another sweet little command, because I'm actually writing an article. It's like my first article in math in 20 years, but about the things that the animation that I'm going to show you. And so I would need my SVG images to pop up in LaTeX. And LaTeX has an SVG package, but I don't know, I couldn't get that thing to work. So when you can't get this thing to work, when you spend like an hour or two and it won't work, well, maybe you'll find another solution. I simply run this little command on the image and it will turn it into PDF, which I can include in LaTeX. I could turn it into PNG as well, doesn't matter. That's an interesting feature in Inkscape, that if I put another argument here, I think export LaTeX, something like that, then I could actually put LaTeX into the SVG file, and when I translate it to PDF, it will transform my LaTeX into a formula. Just a fast example of how SVG file is built. You have the initial, I call that the abracadabra. Usually when you start out with these kind of things, you don't understand nothing about what this thing's about. When I wrote this, or read this the first time, I have the same thing in HTML files. Something like and I don't really know what it means and what it does, but it makes the thing work. Sometimes when you're programming, you have to accept these kind of things. You'll find an abracadabra on the internet, do the fantastic operation of Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, which sometimes can make miracles. Okay? And so this is the structure. Until here is what in LaTeX we would call the preamble. So you have the bottom and the body, and down here you have the post angle. One of my doubts these days is when I work with CSS. You can put CSS in the top there, where you include an external CSS source, and I could put it inline down here. I haven't put it in CSS here, but because it wouldn't fit in my slide. And I'm a little bit in doubt whether all renderers of SVG will always obey that online CSS and how I'm supposed to do that. So I'm still experimenting. Probably I'll find out, but if anyone could give me a hint, you sure would be welcome. Okay? Here's a pretty good figure that's done with that. I don't need to show you that, I think. Here's some of the doubts that I'm still having with SVG, this thing about the CSS. And I think it's the same issue that I'm probably having with the use command. Because I will draw various curves, and obviously I could reuse them sometimes. We're drawing the curve once in a file and just include it with the use. Another thing I didn't like much about the implementation in SVG was the definition of arcs. And I could follow the arguments that was set in the book. I read the book about, I used as a reference the book from O'Reilly, which is a very, very, very good book, very, very good. Really loved it. But arcs, nonetheless, I could draw that in other ways, simply approximating with line segments. Okay? And again, one way or the other, I think I'm going to make the experiment and simply not transforming anything anymore and just write centimeters instead of pixels. This is how the animation is made. You include this is, you have a header and you put your sequence of slides, you put them one after another, and you make sure that they belong to the same class. And then you use this little script. I always hated JavaScript, but this was once that I loved it. I can't figure out what it's doing more or less, but it's working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just ate that one and continue because I wanted to really see mathematics. And by all this slide with codes and etc., probably that's what you will see you would want to do too. Well, what do I want to calculate on a curve? I want to know its derivatives, its velocity. I want to calculate the units component system. It's called a Frenet system. And I need the second derivative. If I draw the curve with the second derivative on it, I would actually know which was the force that a particle forced to live on this curve would be experiencing. I want to keep calculating the determinant, the curvature, and the curvature ratio. The curvature ratio is the ratio of the circle that I showed earlier on. And the evolute. I didn't mention that early on, but the evolute is the curve when you go pass through the curve, the center of curvature will go on another curve, will move on another curve. This curve is called an evolute, which is momentarily the center of the rotation. When you have a curve in a point, it's moving, you can perceive it momentarily in a small neighborhood as a rotation about the curvature center. And when you move along the curvature center will move along too. And these curves have something to do with one another. Okay? Also interesting, some curves. I end up sometimes with a problem about scaling curves. So I have some curve with pretty many parameters involved. So I need to take one parameter out. If I have 3 parameters, if I can scale it, I can eliminate one parameter. So I will need to know what would happen with the geometrical quantities that I had early on. First curve. This is the ship curve. It's a cycloid. What is a ship curve? You on your car or on your bike or on whatever who has a wheel, and you will pass on top of a ship, and you will go on driving, so the ship will glue to your wheel and will do a curve. This curve, in this case, when you're on the road, you're rolling a circle on a line, and the curve that comes out is a cycloid. I did the parameterization there. Here you have how I would implement in Python to calculate the points on a cycloid. Okay, and here I had one instance of the animation. I think I would have a link. Yeah. I think it will open in a little while. Yeah. I opened twice. So when I did, this one has 200 images, and this is the animation. The worst part, actually, the hardest part for me to draw was the rolling circle, because I wanted to indicate on it the part of the circle that has rolled and the part that hasn't rolled. And to do that with the tools that I found for ellipses and arcs and circles in SVG, I had to say that to me it was a pain in the butt. So obviously I drew the two curves of the circle, just like I would do with the normal curve. Okay? That's another thing that makes a pain in the butt of these things. You think that it's mostly like two curves the rolling circle is one that has rolled, one that hasn't rolled. Well, it's not like that, because usually you're counting the angle can go from 0 to 360, but it might also go from minus 108 to 280. So actually, that is what's giving the problem when you need to draw it. And to me, it took me at least a day. There's another slight error there that I'm working on. What is the problem? There's a slight synchronization. If you notice, the point seems to be one behind. But okay, the work isn't finished. This is where we are doing other things. Okay, what kind of a shit is that? It has no ratio. It has no thickness. I don't know. It must be what you say, shitters, man. You have back stomach. So because usually a shit would have thickness. So this is pretty much a virtual shit. Then the question is, what happens when you give it thickness? Here's what happens when you give it thickness. I need to select. It becomes a trochoid. You can see that there's a Fresnel system that I'm talking about. Is this one down here? When you have the cycloid, it had some kind of bumps here. It wasn't smooth around here. This is because the velocity becomes 0 there. But observe something. When it comes down here, you will see that the Fresnel system down in this loop here, it will take 180 degrees turn. If you would go back to the curve from to the cycloid, you will actually see if you took it just one before the last point here and just one afterwards, it will do just 180 degrees. This means that a cycloid actually has something like that degenerated within it. Okay? So we had shit curves with a shit that actually had a thickness. So when you're a mathematician and a computer freak, you might live very much in the virtual world. So what about a shit that has a negative thickness? Well, this is a curve you get when you have a shit with a negative thickness. Another thing, I think I'm going to back here to the... Here you can actually see the thing I said with the cycloid. You see, just one point before the down point here, you have the representation of the Fresnel system here, and another point, it will simply just switch 180 degrees, which means that in this point you actually have this little bulb that you saw on the trochoid case. Okay? You have the trochoids. The orange curves is actually the evolutes. And here, I think it ends up one message I would like to send, is that when you draw things, you get ideas. It seems very much to me when I see these two curves that the evolute of a cycloid is a cycloid. That's pretty surprising, isn't it? When you saw that formulas there, you can try to do the derivation, etc., etc. But when you see this thing, well, I think the evolute of a cycloid is a cycloid. Definitely, the evolute of a trochoid is not a trochoid. So I wouldn't need to bother myself doing a lot of calculus to investigate that curve, okay? Another thing that is interesting, the evolute of a trochoid of the second kind, which is the shit with a negative thickness, is much more complex than the evolute of the first one. This evolute here is definitely pretty, what would you say, nice and predictable. Whereas down here, you actually, once in a while, you will send the evolute to infinity. And that's why I would need to scale my curves sometimes, okay? And so I've included the calculus to do this mathematically. Some other curves. Why should we always roll on a line? We might as well roll on a circle. And when you roll on a circle, you call them Epi-trochoids and Epi-cycloids. And they becomes like this. I don't know if you know this curve, it's also known as a conjugate. And there's only one bulk on the curve, one arch. And this is because that the ratio of the two circles are identical. If I would take instead, I could do, it's this one I vary number 2. You'll see that we'll have 2 balls. Math is beautiful, isn't it? So you will have 2, actually the same curve, yeah? Or similar curve, and they have similar properties. Again, it seems like the evolute of an epi-cycloid is an epi-cycloid. Yes, it is. Calculus are pretty hairy. I've included them on the slides, but I don't want to bother you with it. But it's pretty interesting, yeah? And to me, it's amazing because this thing gives you the ideas what you have to prove when you do mathematics. And it even takes you off proving something that you can't prove because it's not wrong, because it's wrong. So you simply won't bother with it. So it's kind of like a trial and error thing. And nothing better than to visualize things. Mathematics, I've been here like in Brazil for 15 years now, and I've taught mathematics for like 14. And to me, Brazilians, mathematicians, they spend far too much time on algebra. I don't know, in Denmark it's pretty different. We spend more time on geometry. And with the tools we have today, where we can animate mathematics, I'm pretty sure that we could get much more students, young students, older students, to interest themselves in mathematics by showing some geometry and some animations. Okay? There's another type of curve. In this case, the circle rolls outside, so let us let it roll inside. Somebody there. You can see here. Let's have the 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 up here. I would need a better laptop for this to load a little faster. Well, here you see again. Now they're called hypocycloids, and again, the evolute of a hypocycloid looks very much like a hypocycloid. Okay. I think I had a better selection here in the slides. Here you see epi-cycloids with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could put 25 costs if you want. It's just to change the parameters. The epi-cycloid with this evolute. The evolute of an epi-trochoid, again, this is where the shape has positive fitness. And And it gets much more ugly when the shit is virtual, when it has negative thickness. Okay? I think there's some other variation. Here you compare the Epi-trochoid with the Epi-cycloid. And here's what happens when, if you think about maybe there's an arm there on the wheel and it's shitting. So the thickness of the shit will increase, and this is what's going to happen to the curve. Well, virtually we can do many things. Okay. One other curve that I would like to show you is that I didn't include the slides, but where I would need the arc length is, well, to let a curve roll on a line is pretty simple, because it's very simple for me to calculate the length of a line. To let it roll on a circle is also very simple, because it's pretty simple to calculate the length of a circle. It's simply the radius times the angle. But on a parabola, it's not that simple. You have to integrate to find the length of the curve. And there's another thing. The first time when I did this, I realized that up here, where the curve doesn't curve very much, it would go, this means that you have a lot of curve on small space. The circle would go very slowly. No, it would go very fastly. And when you come down here where you have more curvature, you have more length way to travel. And it would look like it would be stopped. It would go very fastly, and then down here it looks like it couldn't get through. And so you even thought about gravity, yeah? But on the other side, we saw the same phenomenon. When it came to here, it started rolling very fast again. What's the problem? The parametrization. The thing is that you need to parameterize with the arc length for it to travel through the curve with a fixed velocity. And I did that. That actually makes the calculus somewhat more heavy. Not that much on a parabola, because a parabola, I can calculate the arc length analytically. But on an ellipse, the thing is pretty different. On an ellipse, you can't calculate the arc length analytically. So you really need to do a numerical integration, okay? And this definitely makes all the calculus a lot heavier. But okay, it's there. I didn't say that, but the green circle you see here is the curvature vector. You see when you reach the extreme point, it's minimum, and here it's maximum. Okay, the vector that comes here, the green vector, is the vector from the center from the curve until the center of the curvature. Okay. One thing I would want to make better on this curve here is to calculate the ratio of the rolling circle for it to be a closed curve. But that's future experiments. There's a lot of things to do with this thing, and after I started, this is like 3-4 months of work, so I reckon in some time there will be much more things to do. One thing I would like to do more would be to animate some physics, because this is readily there. When you have all the derivatives, you can calculate the second order derivative, then you actually have forces, etc., etc. So it can be more fun. One final comment: the evolute of an ellipse is as a known curve is known as an asteroid, which is actually an epi-cycloid with forecast. hypotrial with low cost. Yeah, I think that is it. Again, thanks to my tools here, Python, SVG, LaTeX, Grease Monkey. Grease Monkey is what makes me able to write LaTeX equation in HTML. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass if you don't have internet, but it works. GeoGebra, how would you say that in English? GeoGebra?
Or GeoGebra.
GeoGebra, yeah? It's somewhat awkward to say that word. Okay, but it's very nice software. Please take attention to it. I use it sometimes to make small experiments to see what I'm calculating. Like actually, when I prove that the evolute of a cycloid of an epi-cycloid is an epi-cycloid, I need a GeoGebra to draw a function for me, so I could see the properties. Okay, I've changed the name of the curves. They don't want me to call them shit curves, because academical people, they're kind of like, snobby, some of them. So I can't call them shit curves, so I call them poop curves. And then this would be poop pies, naming them from Python, yeah? A poop and a Python give poop pies. Okay, and I have to thank also W3 School for providing canvas, no, it wasn't canvas, the carousel, which is doing the animation for me. Okay? Thank you. I don't know if there's any comments, questions, Simon? Simon's your name, yeah?
Simon.
They told me yesterday that you would probably have something to say.
Now I just have a name. Did you ever look at Geox? This is the pattern they use on older money to
fine grid that you have on the notes.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of them are based on. I don't exactly understand how the machines work for engraving the plates, but they are also based on additions of movements, like adding a circular movement to a circular movement and stuff like this. And this might be a way you could expand into. And I think that's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, but afterwards I'll write down the name so I can look for it. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Deixa eu perguntar em português, beleza?
Pode falar.
É o seguinte, tendo conhecimento dessas coisas aí que você está falando, o artista consiga compreender bem matemática, ele poderia gerar uns gráficos com a vantagem de ter menos recurso computacional, já que eles são gerados a partir de forma.
Sim. Com certeza. Novamente, eu falei isso no início, mas eu não sou designer. Para mim, cores e cores, eu não sei escolher cores desses trem, isso não é para mim. Mas eu podia. Maybe this one will just move. Okay. I didn't put in the actual calculation of the curves in this visualizer. Because if I put it on the internet somewhere, and maybe somebody would be able to book my machine. Because I haven't thought any about security, anything like that. So I actually calculate the thing from the command line. Let's see if I have a command. See, the first one, the trochoids. You see here, that's about like 10 trochoids that I've drawn. And here, this is the calculation. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So it's pretty simple. It's not computational heavy. What happens afterward here? Oh, it didn't. No, it's finished. It's finished. Sometimes I'm trying when I do that Inkscape. When I do that Inkscape that transfer SVG to PDF, sometimes it hangs. And this definitely, I think that has to do with clipping. The clipping is when you have all these little points that goes outside, goes very far away. Then Inkscape really has a lot, does a lot of work to generate the PDF. The code line flows very rapidly. That's interesting. But when you go and run the Inkscape command, sometimes I think you have to turn on the laptop because of time. But definitely, you know my son?
Yeah, just a remark. So these are the kind of.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed when I started implementing this is that you run in a lot of trouble when you do a lot of points with short line segments, because you get a lot of points and all the tools start getting slow, especially Inkscape, which is not that good in handling tons of short lines. So it might make sense to think about as you already are calculating the oscillating circles. You could actually use them to
approximate the points. Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Actually, when I run Inkscape, it just produces a PDF. So it's only if I want to print something, I want to include some latex document to show you on the screen. I will need it.
Another thing you might want to take a look at is to just skip Inkscape and use Cairo from the Python script and export the PDF directly. You create a PDF surface in Cairo and enter the Bezier lines, drawing commands directly. Cairo needs to work with Beziers, but
that was probably why I looked at it and showed away.
Well, you can do polylines as well, just line tools.
Yeah, you do polylines only anyway.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, if you see, I can show you. Probably I should have done that. This is a nice thing about this thing, this animation, is that let's take one here. This one is pretty well behaved. The nice thing is that you can even just view the image and show the code. So actually, this is with 200 points. It's not very big. Yeah, that one is the rolling arc that I did the same way that I draw the points, that I draw the curves. And here you have the curve. This is the curve. This is the curve. But it's not very big. It's pretty. And here you have the evolute.
I started running into the troubles with the BIOS where you have to approximate.
For these curves, you would probably need a lot more points for them to get smooth. Well, yeah, okay, then you could use the oscillating circles to approximate. Okay, thank you. Or anybody wants to say something more? No? Okay, thank you. As I didn't get to it yet, I had some PNG from last year. I didn't put any be shit to roll, but you want the shit to roll, it's easy to put a shit to roll there, you know?
Literally, this one is better.
I mean, this is all PNG, and the where it's get heavy in PNG is when you use convert to convert the sequence of PNGs into the animated GIF. Then it gets heavy there. So it's I'm kind of proud of that because it seems to me like my calculus is pretty efficient. It's only when I use external tools that it gets slower. So yeah, okay. Now I won't come back anymore. Ciao.